course in your journey. Okay? With that being said, do I have any questions up front? Yes, ma'am?
Your spouse have to be in the military for so many years before you can get back to the TRICARE or what? Yeah, the insurance.
So TRICARE is generally reserved for that soldier, for that veteran that served 20 or more years. Now, with that being said, if I'm rated 100%, that insurance is called Champion Health Insurance for his or her, because we serve too, dependents and spouses. So it's called Champ VA Health Insurance when that veteran is rated 100% permanent and total, or he is rated 100% due to individual unemployability that we call IU. We acronym a lot, so I'm going to spell it out. If I say IU, that stands for individual unemployability, which means I will never achieve the 100% rate. However, due to my 70%, it renders me unable to seek and maintain gainful employment because of that disability. Therefore, VA will rate you unemployable, and then all the 100% as if it's equal. So I usually explain it like this. A GED versus a high school diploma. I got there a different way. The equivalent, right? IU versus 100% schedule is the same. IU, which is individual unemployability, I will never work again because that's what it's saying. But if I'm a schedule 100%, I can continue working as much as I want to. So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, thank you. Any others? Yes, sir.
Once you're awarded your 100% PNT, can the VA call you back to be reevaluated? Is there a 5-year, 10-year, can they go back and pull your records and say, even though you're 100% PNT, we want to bring you back in to look at you and say, well, now we want to strip you of your 100% and break you down to an 80 or 90?
Only way that occurs because you open up that door, sir. When you're 100% permanent total, leave it alone. You should leave it alone because it opens that up. They say you were permanent total. You had no future exams. But when you went to open it up, for example, if I was picking for my PTSD and all the other things that went with it that made me 100%, but I want to go raise my 50 to 70. Okay, you done improved. Because you go to your therapist and you say, yeah, medicine working, life is good. Somebody sitting beside you say 5 for an increase. But since you open up that door, that's when you get reduced. Another thing is permanent total. You mentioned PNT. Some individuals for one condition, let's just take lung cancer with my Vietnam veteran. For example, I ain't doing nothing. Prostate cancer, since I'm talking to a man. Prostate cancer. Prostate cancer will not be permanent total because every 6 months, and maybe at the end, but every 6 months we're going to have you in for a future exam and check that. PSA done. Thank God that you have gotten better. So then we rate you on residuals. Doctor say, hey, I got to take that prostate out to save your life. So that cancer's gone, but you have residuals, and that's in the testicles somewhere else. So I hope I answered the question about that. That's kind of tricky, and that's why you should listen to a service officer because we have a VA system. That code sheet tells us if you got a future exam. It tells us if you're permanent total. So before you initiate any claim, you should speak to someone like myself because most of the time we're going to be like, leave it alone.
100% PNT, leave it alone.
Leave it alone. That's when you open up that door. VA gonna step in there and say, how you doing? Okay, let's reduce him because you improved. Leave it alone. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
When you talk about open up that door, and people have been declared 100%, so therefore not just physical, but from a mental aspect, right? And you get 100%. So if I get well, okay, I'm in jeopardy of losing that 100%. Is that correct?
Only if you initiate a claim.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So it has
You can
nothing,
get well.
it has nothing to do with my ability to function on the outside, or maybe I want to just say I get the 100% and now I'm gonna become a person. Remember, how did that work?
That's fine. Look, when we're rated 100% for different things, say it's a mental. Mentally, that just may show up in your behavior. So that has nothing, to do with, you may get fired from that job. If I was a school teacher and I'm suffering PTSD, it's a bad day, kids running around, I do something I shouldn't have done, I'm getting fired because of my behavior. What does that have to do with the 100%? That's civilian world. But let me tell you one more thing that protects a veteran. You hold that 100% for 20 years or more, VA cannot reduce you past that for that one condition. So it varies. Maybe I held 100% for a combination of things. 50 for my PTSD, 10 and 10 for my knees. VA math is not our math. They utilize a combined rating standard. So I tell my veteran, hold that for 20 years. Because a lot want to go in and say, well, my PTSD is causing sleep apnea, according to my doctor. Well, you got that 70% and you've been holding it for 12 years and you don't go sporadically to your doctor. I'm talking about mental health. But then you want to say something secondary, like that sleep apnea. We're going to reduce you on that because your pattern has shown I don't need him or her as much. But they're going to give you that 50% for that sleep apnea. Then you're messing with your numbers. So hold it for 20 years. On another note, hold that 100% for 10 years. Don't matter what you die from. Now don't get me wrong. It matters to your family and everything. What, lack of a better way of saying, what took you out? But when I hold 100% for 10 years or more, my spouse is going to get the benefit of dependent indemnity compensation. It's called DIC. Not going to get what I get for 100% because I'm the one suffering from it. But it gives that widow a flat rate. Right now it's $1,600 and a few dollars. But she will be entitled to keep everything that go with that, additional benefits that we earn because we are earning. Property tax exclusion, for example. That Champ VA health insurance that the young lady asked me about. She keeps all of that. And what I usually tell y'all men, after 57 and a half, she will be mad. Keep all your benefits. 57 and a half. Used to be 59. Now it's 57 and a half.
She married somebody 57.
No. I'm saying she is 57 and a half years old.
Oh.
She can remarry. She's gonna be over that. Keep all your benefits. I don't throw that in there. I always do. Yeah. It's just like I could never get married again. Yeah, you can. I don't know what's gonna happen up there though. But they can.
I did 10%. And I really love it, really applied for the VA, being more than I was in aviation. And now I'm suffering from my hip, I don't know, it's coming from jumping
which can kind of play into what the PAC Act is all about now. If you didn't go to Iraq or Afghanistan where we get exposed to toxins, burn pits. But let's just take you in avionics. Number one, I'm thinking about that hearing. Yeah, you were a young man then. Everything you done when you were younger is gonna show on you when you're older. And because, we know that, Big Mama said, right? Good and bad. But let's go back to that avionics. You're exposed to a lot of noise. Airplanes, this, that, and the other. For example, when we young, we don't pay attention. But then when we get older, it gets revealed. So someone like yourself in avionics, first thing I'll be like, well, how you hearing, sir? You got a hearing test? So the audiologist, when you go see one, well, let me start back from the beginning. I was around all this military noise. I got out at 25. I didn't know that ringing in my ear was called tinnitus. I just dealt with it. But as I get older, because we are predisposed to all this military noise, it's showing on us. Claims needs to be developed. Hearing loss is one thing, while tinnitus is another. 10% is all that we're going to get for that tinnitus, that ringing in our ear. So let's roll with that for a moment. That ringing in the ear can be so bad sometimes. Wakes you up at night, this, that, and the other. What does that do here? So, true case, I just never tell you Grandma's name. He's about 70 or something, that's all he had. But he said it just bothers me. My advice is to go see a mental health person. See, I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm not mental health. I go with So I said, go talk to them about it. They came back and said he had an adjustment mood disorder. That gave him 30. They ain't 40. Got an 80-year-old wife that's in need of aid and attendance. We added her on. So this was $110. They got up to about $900. We're done. Unless this adjustment mood disorder gets worse, then we're increasing. So always start from here and grow it. So we stick with the truth. It's me, you, and your doctor, Mr. BBA. I'm here to you bottom line. BBA has 38 CFR. When we was in the military, we used to hear about uniform code, military justice, all this stuff. Okay, but now we're regulated by the 38 CFR. That stands for Code of Federal Regulations. That helps us to help you all. What are we going to portray? But I'm also going to go back on your avionics. If we around in jet fuel, breathing that diesel.
I was a crew chief before I became a section chief. First sergeant.
So that's why the PAC Act comes into with you if you didn't serve in Kuwait, Iraq, or whatever. Because you think about it, don't you pump gas, you smell it. What is that going to do over time? When you're young, you're able to fight off some stuff. And then you got asthma, something along that line, some respiratory. So this is why the PAC Act is a good thing for veterans that never was, say, combat or over in those territories where we were fighting and burning stuff. So always go back and say, well, with that JP8, JP4, I hear this from someone out there. I'm not an Air Force girl, are you? What? You see the point I'm making? Now we go back to the knees. Did you complain about the knees in the military?
They said in the report, they said in my report, they never really, they told me I would never be like see it, but I can, you know. But I didn't play football for the military too.
Exactly. Because that's in your record. See, everything you say, unless you God of Jesus, and I use this, Mr. Johnson will tell you, unless you God of Jesus, prove it. God of Jesus, okay. Otherwise, your service treatment records shows that you might have went on sick call him a knee hurt. You didn't come in the military with no knee problem. If you did, that's aggravation. Because they let you in. Yeah, we're going to let you in with your mild pest planners. From my face, black knee. It's no tape. So you came in with something. Say, for example, second way we do this. throughout your military career, you say, hey, can I get something for my feet? Inserts. My feet hurt. You prove it aggravation. Even when you got out of the military, sporadically you would go to the doctor because, as we all know, being older, injuries progress. It's going to end up arthritis, osteoarthritis in the end. It progresses. God didn't design this body to last forever.
Well, I have TRICARE, that's what it was for now.
So that's your health care.
Yeah.
Because you retired veteran. I'm talking about this benefit monetary wise, because it's still affecting you today with that knee. You see what I'm saying? Knees go to the next joint over time. Remember that little song we sing, this bone connected to that bone? This is a bone. The next one is the head. Then you go to the back over time. That happens over time. So I go to the doctor and say, well, you know, service connected for this knee. But why is this knee hurt? We overcompensate. See what I'm saying? 20 years go by, you wonder why this knee hurt. Because you get up on this knee, you stand on this knee, put the weight on the knee. I might have been $120 in the military, $170 now. So it's weight on the knee. So the doctor, I said, well, I got knee pain. He said, no, that's called patellofemoral syndrome. Okay. Whatever you call it, doc. I'm going to keep laboring. I got a knee condition. Over time, you wonder why my hips. I said, well, why my hip hurt? I got a hip problem. No, that's a hip pitch, man. See the difference? He gives diagnosis. While we just kind of generalize, because we don't have PhD MD behind that. You should gauge that, sir. But I would be more so saying, this ain't service treatment records. We got it. What have you done afterwards? I say this to all my men, because y'all get out of the military, you got to support your family. So you may not go to the doctor like we women go, but we gonna go. So sporadically, every 5, 10 years you go to the doctor. Every 5, 10 years that condition is doing something. See what I'm saying? Wives will say, I'm getting sick and tired of hearing it. Please go to the doctor. Please go. And then you go. So what you're doing is showing a story. Started here, progression, progression, progression. Rate. That's fine.
So but it has to be service connected, correct? I mean, even if it's progression over years, if the initial is not service connected, then that's not gonna matter, right?
You got to start at the beginning.
Right.
You know, like I said, if you never made a claim before, but your service treatment record's sitting there. DOD is the owner of those records until VA, because you're making a claim. It's getting it from the National Personnel Record Center. Now we got them service treatment records, but you've been out 20 years. I usually ask a veteran, what you complain about on active duty? My knees and my big, okay, so it's in there. What you worry about getting that for? We gonna get that. I'm also concerned, what have you done afterwards? Some of us self-treat ourselves. Self-treatment ain't that I did the alcohol, drugs, everything. Wet mama said, get that heating pad. Wrap that up. Elevate it. Put some of this on it. That's self-treatment. Take them domes and add Tylenol. So you write a statement on how you self-treated yourself. You go to that doctor so he can give you a diagnosis. Even though 20 years done went by, it's fill the gap. That's what I call it. We got to fill the gap. And in between, how did you do? I just dealt with it. Well, say it. If you married, your wife saw you go buy this and wrap this up. I don't need for her to tell me what I think he got so-and-so married, not a doctor. But what you can do is write a statement on what you saw him do or what you did for him with self-treatment in lieu of going to the doctor's look. We all know we ain't quite trusting them doctors, especially my grandma was born in 1912. We're not trusting doctors. We're going to self-do some stuff. So that's what I'm telling you. When you've been out as long as you have and you have not done a claim in 20 or 25 years, I love the challenge on that. But I'm going to challenge you. Where have you been in the last 25 years? Because that's the progress. But we gotta start with, first of all, did you complain? You didn't complain?
Right my here, I got done less than 20 years ago.
Excuse me, sir?
On my here, I got done less than 20 years, 10%. I only got it maybe,
Is it called tinnitus or is it called hearing loss?
um,
Two separate rateable issues. Look at your rating decision. Rate decision, I tell a veteran, that's our guide on. That guides us. Everybody know what guide on. That guides you. You see what I'm saying? Even if you didn't come to me, you're looking at the rate decision. But I'm gonna be honest with you. That notification letter said you paid me how much? Okay, 3 or 4 pages back, and you pay attention to it. So much information in that. But since you've been 20 years, things change, rules change. You can't even gauge that, sir. If it's tinnitus, 10% is all they're gonna give us for it. But if it's hearing loss, that's a different story. Maybe you need to increase that. I had one that was 10%. They ain't do nothing like you for 20 years. Oh, we 100 just for his hearing loss now. I didn't give it to him. That's what those audio hertz, nets, and all this stuff is. I'm not an audiologist to determine all of those numbers. It's the Maryland CNC test that the VA uses to measure your hearing loss. But it's a good thing you get them hearing aids. They about $5,000. Because I got hearing loss, guess what? I get that free at the VA.
Okay, what I hear you saying, I want to make sure, with his situation in particular, or similar situation, because he already has 10% or something, at this point, he could go to the doctor and my hearing has gotten worse. He get tested based on what they come up with, it could increase.
Oh yes, hearing loss can be anywhere from 0% to 100.
And I also hear you saying that it depends on what you're saying and how you say it or what happens.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
It does. You know, I know a lot of veterans have wives with them, but we want to hear from the veteran. Not the veteran, we want veteran. You support, got you, love it.
So for people like in the Navy that didn't qualify based on chemical exposure, could say, I've been on that ship for so long, that could even be like a hearing issue or other things that would happen to people on the Navy and they would still qualify.
Yeah. See, on that boat, that's what I call the Navy. I work with a retired Navy girl, so, you know, I'm obviously go back on that boat. But the boat has a lot of noise there. You got an engine room, where they sleep at, right above, right below is the engine room. Be on that boat for 3-4 months on a Mediterranean cruise or whatever. They got tight spaces. It's a lot of noise on ships. So it's a lot of noise, even if you're in the Air Force. It's noise that we are exposed to, period. More so than even being in the civilian world. You want to equate it, look at a construction worker. Let them do that for 4 or 6 years or longer. He too will have some hearing loss. He just ain't gonna be compensated like this.
And like Pastor Hicks, his question was, I think his question was that it had to be something that happened to you in the Army.
On active duty. That's why it's important. And I know some of my men gonna say, you know how it is going on sick call, Miss Jones, you know, suck it up, move on. Especially for the men. Come on, we got a mission. And you never go. But within 1 year of getting out the military, it's called presumptive. I never complained about this stuff in the military because of that very reason. However, I went to the doctor within a year. If I served 4 years, 6 years, it's going to be presumed whatever I'm dealing with now came from my military career because I did not come in there like that. We take interest exams. I'm good. I'm fit for service. No problems. Within 1 year of getting out, They didn't, VA in particular, they didn't say 14 months, they said 1 year. Because otherwise, you have no proof. Like you said, you got out and they do that, this and that, and the other. Where proof? I'm gonna go back to it unless you got Jesus proof it.
Thank you.
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
Well, my husband is in the hospital right now. He been going there, he'll come back and say, I said this, that, and sometimes I told him, I said, what, he go, I go with him sometimes. But then, they say, well, he did that, and he got, you know, his legs messed up. Now he can't even hardly walk. Now, I talked to him this morning, and he said that, I think he was losing his eyesight. And so he asked me, said, well, I know anything about, like braille and stuff. I told him I did, because I do. And, so they said they put sometimes drops in his eyes and covered his eyes up. So he can't really hardly walk now. They do a baby step, and they got all these tubes around his chest and down in his legs and everything, because they're cutting his legs and stuff off. And they got these tubes, so they went to the vacuum and they sent him to the hospital in Rocky Mount. I guess they said they got something, they didn't have with something, I don't know. But I know they got, his leg is gone down some, but, so when I talked to him this morning, he said, oh, what time is it? And I told him, I said, he said, I can't see anything. She said, like, hurt his eyes and stuff. And they got his eyes wrapped up. They got him in the bed with all these tubes.
What's your question now? You got a question?
What are they can I think you about that? Because you see, he complained about hurt. He always did that. But I wasn't.
So I'll ask you, is he receiving compensation? And is that having to do with something that progressed? If he's not, he's a non-service connected veteran. There's some of us that don't nothing happened in the military. However, if I served during a wartime with what I've done, I was in the military during a wartime. Never made it in Korea, Vietnam, or Iraq, or any of that. But it's a wartime. That's a pension benefit. Pension is based off of income and reoccurring medical expenses. That's what I do for a veteran. They say nothing ever happened, Ms. Jones. I was in during Vietnam, but I was down Fort Bragg. I'm sorry, Fort Living. Never went anywhere. So I don't know if your husband is service connected.
Yeah, he went.
Well, no. Service connected doesn't mean, because I'm connected to the Army, I'm connected. It means he has been through a process like all of us, requesting compensation for an injury or illness. Now we get later on in life just gonna take on with some stuff. So I ask you, because some of us that go to the healthcare, it's based on income, and it's based on the family with this and that and the other. So we don't see you over there at the healthcare because of your income, so to speak. So I don't know, that's a question. I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't have enough information. I don't know if he's working with a veteran service officer. So that's the VHA, Veteran Healthcare Administration. They over there. I'm the VBA, Veteran Benefit Administration. I'm over here. We don't share systems, but when a veteran is going there to get his treatment on that application, they say you go to a VA medical center. Yeah, we'll get that. It's in our wheelhouse. If you're going privately, I tell my veteran, you got some marching orders. What you need to do is go and get that private medical record of where you've been. So I hear your question, but it's going to take a little bit more digging.
He's been going to VA in Durham.
That's the hospital.
Right.
And he can go. He's an honorably discharged veteran. That's a benefit.
Right,
But
he's
has
been
he
going,
done?
and he had operations for counsel and everything.
So what era of veteran am I speaking about? Was he in Vietnam?
He said he go in Vietnam for a little while with one of my brother-in-laws.
then I would start to gauge on him because see that Agent Orange chemical that they spray to get rid of some of that vegetation. We don't want our flight line got trees up to, we won't see the enemy coming far back there. So they sprayed Agent Orange. It's 17 illnesses, ma'am, associated with that.
I
And
know.
if he got one, like diabetes,
You got that.
can cause diabetic retinopathy with the eyes. You see what I'm saying? It's secondary. It's something that diabetes can cause. So does he have a veteran service officer like myself?
Yes, but I think you do. I know he
That's
does.
who you need to be
I know he
speaking
do.
to.
I know he do.
And when he get out of the hospital and he's needing that level of care, you should go to caregiver program, let him pay you $1,900 a month to take care of your husband. You'll take care of him for free anyway. But why? What? Wait a minute, hold up. Why? Why not? You are the caregiver. And that could be a son, daughter, spouses. And then we're gonna give you some health care because you're taking care of that better.
What do you do if I just got my records from the record center, and some of the things I went to sick call are in the records anymore? How do you prove something that no longer exists? In the
Well,
record?
you say you got your service treatment records from the National Personnel Records
Yes,
Center,
from the
correct?
Air Force, yes.
You went through,
I
and
went
you
through
saying, well, I know I went on sick call
Yeah,
when I was at Fort Dix for this. So the VA is charged, because we're not the DOD.
okay.
That's who we worked for when we was in the military.
Mhm.
Whole different federal, different branch. See what I'm saying? So the VA is charged because you're saying, wait a minute, when I was at Fort Dix, and I'm making that, I was at Fort Dix, and I know I went on sick call with so-and-so and so-and-so, but it ain't in my record. And you say it was in your record, so how did you know? Because you went on sick call, right? You need to write a statement for that. So that VA can say, well, maybe your records, that didn't make it in there. To kind of recreate that.
Okay.
I'm down Fort Bragg, you know, because I was TDY, but I was going to WOMAC. So being TDY, you figure, okay, did those records make it back to my military file while I was TDY? That's something you need to tell someone like me so that we, the VA, will go and dig a little deeper. They have a duty to assist, but if you don't identify that or come up with that, you see what I'm saying? How we gonna know? No one should take your record and go through it and say, do this, do this. This is your claim. You're gonna work with me on your claim. I already got mine, but I'm here to do yours.
Okay.
I don't mind.
Ms. Jones, basically, I got two questions.
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with the Campbell Jim Toxic Board and all that right
I
here?
am.
Okay, well, they had already mentioned to me that they already done went through everything and they said that my stuff was on file. So they still doing a process of getting a final answer to that?
You talking about a claim. When you say
Yeah.
they, you're saying the VA, and
Okay,
it's on file. Who are they? Who are they?
well, I believe it would be the VA.
Okay, so I'm thinking, you made a claim.
Yes,
There are 8 illnesses associated with
right,
Captain
yes,
Jim.
yes.
Somebody else may say, well, no, the lawyer said, and the lawyer don't dictate this.
Uh,
It's not working.
Okay,
It's for
so-
money.
so,
So if you got one of them 8 illnesses, sir, first of all, we're gonna put you in Captain June. You know, our 201 file shows that.
right,
I was ordered, or I was down Captain June, and so 30 days or more.
oh, yeah,
You drank the water.
oh, yeah.
I got one of those illnesses. You see what I'm saying? That doctor has doctor, whatever.
Right.
So now if you made that claim on the 526 EC, you've been through your CMP exam,
Yeah,
so you waiting on the decision.
okay, so that's
Now
all
you
I'm
know,
doing then.
that's all you doing now. You done what you were supposed to do in
Okay.
VA court now.
Okay.
And so, our claims, unfortunately,
Take a long time.
take a while.
Yeah,
But if I had some illness, I'm gonna get that escalated. But I'm gonna need that from the doctor to say, hey, I forgive me, but the doctor ain't gonna tell me I got 6 months to live. He can say that's a prognosis because of the type of cancer I might have. You know, it's a bunch of cancers. It's him that's gonna say that. But if in order for me to get it escalated to that level, prognosis was 6 months he gonna be gone. So you see how you get it expedited? So I hear what you're saying, but you're working with a VSO, yes? A veteran service officer. That is with the American Legion, or you with disabled American veterans, and they're accredited like me.
Yeah.
So when I say accredited, I'm vetted every 4 years, fingerprints, credit check.
Yeah.
I got all y'all information. I got to be a good staff.
Yeah.
They're gonna hold me to a staff, not a volunteer. And I got the VA system, so I will be able to track where your claim is. I usually call my veterans, look at that count. I got your letter here. You get it in about 2-3 weeks. You get it in 2-3 weeks, but I got your letter here and I'm here looking out for you. But you check that account. It's part of my job. It's to compensate us. Then I have you back in the office so we can keep moving. But you waiting on. You don't know if you're gonna be here tomorrow. I always tell my veterans, the Lord got your date, you just don't know.
Right.
But you waiting on.
And my next question
Yes, sir.
was about the champ. I'm going through a situation now trying to get it squared away, right? Which, you know, I didn't understand it at first because it had me kind of like frustrated because of my first marriage. And, you know, there was some contesting and all this going on prior to, but during the prior to, I was married after 8 years. And the divorce finalization didn't come until after we had gotten married.
So a divorce for the veteran, it just severed her benefits.
Yes.
Now, you
Now,
retired out
I'm
of the
trying
military,
to-
that's another thing.
I'm trying to tie her in to the champ where she'll be able to benefit.
Because you're 100% permanent total.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's a form called 10-10D, CHAP VA Health Insurance. You've added her onto your award, because we can when we're 30% or more. You have to add the spouse onto the award.
Okay.
So that's a 686 form, adding a dependent. Because the other wife done dropped off. Once we divorce, or husband, once we divorce, that just severed everything. And cheering, that's a different story up to 23. After 23, we done. Your child will be 27 in college, we're not doing that. But you need to get your spouse added on. It took the other spouse off, that's the divorce decree.
Right.
We're done. And you apply for CHAP VA health insurance for her. If you got a primary insurance like Social Security, now I don't know, I ain't trying to make it old. Maybe you retired from a job, you got Blue Cross Blue Shield. That's your primary. CHAP VA will be your secondary. So then they say, well, what that cover? You stay in my lane. You gonna call CHAP VA health insurance, I'm not an insurance person. I just did the benefit when you get that when you and your dependents. Take care of the veteran, I take care of the dependents. Then I would tell you, ma'am, you gonna go to school? Let DEA, that's Dependent Education Assistance, not drug enforcement. let the VA, because he done earned the benefit, go finish up your degree, $0. We're gonna pay you to go to school to get your degree, because he earned it. We earn it, y'all entitled to it.
All right.
So that's what you need to check out.
Can I ask her real quick?
Yes, sir, you can. You can.
I know this is the last question.
You
Well,
can.
this is a, if a person has been there and you haven't removed your spouse, the person that you divorced off your award letter, when you go and add your new wife or husband on, they're going to deduct, whether it's 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, a year,
Yeah.
or whatever, they won't get that money back.
Right.
Yeah, we don't want that money back, because it's on you to let us know that you divorced that.
As soon as possible.
And we know it take a month or two to remove one.
Yeah.
So I always tell my veteran that $125 or whatever, Put it to the side, because we've overpaid you. It's your responsibility to say, I'm divorced from this spouse. The same form removes it. Where's the divorce decree? That cut that. A month later, you marry somebody else. Hey, I'm just saying. Seen it done. Add her on, or him on. First you gotta get divorced. Then a month later, believe it or not, somebody married again. Then we're gonna add her on. So it makes it smooth. But we overpaid you, sir, about 2 months. But look at here. When we add her on, because it took a while, we're gonna retro that. So I tell my man, you need to put that money to the side. So I give you another choice, even if you didn't. I ain't talking about years now. You can pay that back. But even if you did, debt management gonna say, we overpaid you, VA let us know. You'll set up a payment plan. Say you disregard that notice. We gonna start taking it then. Because you should have called and said, well, I can pay $100 a month, I can pay $50. You should have paid something, because you got that money. You know, but then we gonna add the other one on. We gonna want that money back. You should have reported, you know. So we are accountable for reporting to VA. True story. Veteran got out in '67 in California. He met this girl, married her for 3 months. Didn't work out. So he just came here to North Carolina. 10 years after that, he married another woman. Notice I didn't say he didn't divorce that. He married another woman. Things were a little different then. 20 years later, that veteran died. So guess what? The first wife showed up and said, wait a minute, hold up. I never divorced him. He never divorced me. We had marital discord because he had PTSD and wanted to beat on me. True story. He left me, but I never divorced him. Okay, so y'all marriage not valid. We gonna get her the benefit. So she went out to that veteran's grave, true story, spit on him, cussed him out, everything. Then came back, but we had it waived because she was unbeknownst to her. So it was a lot of money she had to pay back. So when we explained that story, that was due to the veteran. He dead now. I know they say you'll speak ill of the dead, but we gotta go there. We gotta go there, or they're gonna make her pay that money back. Why? Because of his. So we had that way. So you're right. You need to remove one before you add another one on. Must have been saying that one. Let's just go there. You must have been saying that one. You won't even divorce. Get a divorce.
Thank Mr. Jones tonight, y'all.
I did have some resource guides here if you want. I probably didn't have enough for anybody, but a lot of what I just spoke about, sir, with some stuff is in that resource guide.
She has some cards on here.
And I do have some cards just in case.
Yeah, and some of the stuff on front board out front, so everybody gets some. So.
I do have some, and I know we're in the house of the Lord. I do have some gun locks. We get too much with kids running around getting here. We're free. Lock that weapon up. Or maybe you know a brother or a sister that has it and they got little kids. I got gun locks, you know. I'm just saying. They coming up in the churches, you know. I'm just saying. So I brought some.